Good morning! Welcome to Soulful Sunday. And if you've been following along for a while, you'll actually see that I have changed locations. And much like last week where I felt called to change locations and because it was raining and thunderstorming, and to bring that sound in and that energy, which was have been feeling like, I keep telling you guys, you don't have to do it inside, you can do it outside. Like, come join me if you're at the cottage, or if you're feeling like you want to be outside, do it on your back deck, do it in the grass. And I'm like, what am I doing? So calling on myself, and even though it rained this morning, I'm out here. This is my backyard. This little space at the bottom is actually mine. There's a fence, I don't know if you can see it or not, and then the trees are actually in the community park that is behind, that has a really nice trail and a pond reservoir type thing. So we have heron that's there, and geese and ducks, and my neighbor's chime, which I absolutely love, and the sound of the trees. So I find the sound of the trees very, very calming. And so I thought, let's invite the trees to be with us today and the sound of them. So as we pause to take our breaths and get present here and doing that presencing meditation, I invite you to bring in the sound of the trees to where you are and just get really super, super quiet inside. So getting comfortable, whether you want to stand or sit or be lying down, up to you, yogi's choice. And just taking a breath, just notice your breathing, nothing fancy, just go in and out, just noticing that your belly, when you're inhaling, that it expands out, and when you're exhaling, pulling it in. And wherever you are, whatever position you're in, just feeling that the energy out the bottom of your feet can connect to the earth. And see if you can go beyond the earth, the surface of the earth, and down to the core of the earth. And what that feels like. And expand your capacity to receive and connect to the natural vitality, and bringing that up through your ankles, through your knees, through your legs to your hips, and maybe rock your hips or rotate them. Let it swirl around in there, and then let it continue up through your torso, up through the chest and shoulders, and maybe roll them back and or maybe side to side, or maybe a figure 8, as you let that roll around in there a little bit differently. And then letting that energy go down through your arms, and then up through your throat, up through the top of your head. And feeling up the top of your head, up through the sky, up through the clouds, up through the stratosphere, all the way up. Normally invite people to connect to the sun, but today I feel like there's a star There is a star that is your star. I don't know, I opened my eyes and saw that my phone was off. So I hope that was okay. Okay, all right. So, okay, next. It is what it is. So, if it got cut off, I hope you guys are just sort of in your body and back here. And so we're going to do our flower spirit reading next. I love these guys. Isn't it just so awesome to have the chimes and the trees blowing? Yeah, I love it. I love trees. I'm going to go for a walk after this and probably go hug a few. So, when was the last time you hugged a tree? Or even, oftentimes when my back feels a little crunchy, like 'cause from sitting and it feels like all wadded up at the back, I really enjoy, so you can play with this if you want. I'm just feeling called to share with you in case you want to give it a try, to actually lean up against a tree and then kind of wiggle so that your maybe your tailbone, but your sit bones, your butt cheeks are against the tree, and like you're going to sit on the tree and your legs maybe are slightly out a bit, but whatever you feel is steady. And then being able to sort of, you tilt your, I'm trying to think, you tilt your pelvis in and then you kind of do a hip hinge forward and just sort of feel where it feels good in your body to safely do, and move and let the tree support you and be able to stretch out your back and body and let the energy of the tree regenerate you. And I'm usually doing that with my shoes on, but the last time I did it, the tree said, take your shoes off. So I took my shoes off and, it happened to be dirt there, but oh well, so I did it anyway, and it was totally the or better. So I hope that you might have some fun trying that. Okay, so now really, really gonna do a flower spirit reading right now. Okay, so what is there for us to know? Oops, sorry. Just want to, okay. What is there for us to know? For right now, for the rest of our day, and maybe even the rest of the week, if you feel called to have this as your focus for the week, or your touch point, your anchor point, your home tree point, to start every day or check in the middle of your day before you go to sleep at night. What is there to know? This is squirrel tail grass. And when I lived in Oshawa, I saw this a lot. I don't see so much up here in Stouffville, but hopefully you can see that. I'll tilt it there so you can have a look at that. It's very fun. I never knew what this plant was called when I would see it, but when I got this deck of cards and I saw this, like, hey, I know that, I see that all the time. And I'm like, oh, it's squirrel tail grass. Like, that makes so much sense. And the message is, I release tension and embrace lightness. Right? I release tension and embrace lightness. I love that. Yes. So for me, I'm would say that's very perfect. I don't know about for you. So if it seems perfect for you, you can do some hearts or say something in the comments that makes sense or it's perfect. I get it. Yeah. So it could be in your body, it could be in your mind, it could be on a certain subject where maybe you've been feeling, or with a certain relationship with a certain someone, or a group of people. Where can you, if you're finding it hard to release the tension because you're very attached to the story, or you want to be right that there's something wrong, or you feel really justified, I totally get that. What I'm feeling is that we could shift the message, we could shift to embrace lightness. So what could you do right now that would help you to feel light? Maybe it's phoning a friend, maybe it's getting outside, maybe it's washing the dishes, maybe it's taking care of something completely off the topic of the thing that is having you have tension. Maybe it's do a few stretches, maybe it's watch a funny movie, something to redirect your focus so that you feel light inside, to activate that playfulness of your inner child, that part of yourself, that's your soul, that is playful, that kind of, some of us had it beat out of us, right? That you have to be an adult. So, there are some things, but how can you bring that energy of curiosity and zest for life to, that tension? And maybe it's a tension in your body, maybe you're healing an injury, or maybe you've got some pain, and maybe there's a way to shift your perspective, even just slightly, just a little bit, like, maybe you open the window a crack, or when you pull up the blinds, because maybe the curtains have been closed for a while, and there's a ray of sunshine coming in, just that little bit, right? Or see? Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera or not, but I'm seeing there's like this little green line right here, portal of light right now. That's so cool. I hope you guys can see that. I love that. So that's my interpretation of the message for us, for me, and I feel like I will just confer with the book to see if there's an exercise. Sometimes it provides something. Oh my god, I opened the book right to it. Have you guys ever seen me do that? I have on my own, but when I've been doing these, I haven't. Seriously? That's so cool. Okay. Message is one of lightness. Okay, we got that. Hello, Mr. Wasp. No matter how much is going on in our lives, it is important that we remain lighthearted and playful. You are being gently nudged to lighten up. Sometimes we take ourselves too seriously, and we need to stop and look at ourselves and to remember to loosen up and see the funny side of life. It is true that we create what we believe about ourselves and our lives. When we're able to lighten up and enjoy every moment, it's actually possible to overcome the illusion of pain and suffering that we feel. So, if there's something worrying you or turning on in your mind, try this simple exercise. Okay, you guys, you ready? Okay, so maybe not for right now because I didn't read ahead, but it could be for right now if you brought a journal and a pen, but it's never usually required. So just maybe have a listen and you can do that afterwards. But here's the instructions. Write down on a piece of paper and just let it all out. So it's dump without censoring. And you're just writing the stream of consciousness without stopping. You're not reading it. You just let it all out. And if you like, you can do a little ritual with it and tear it all up and throw it in the garbage. If you felt like you wanted to burn it, safely of course, you could do that as well. But basically it's just letting it all go and then leave it. So this is definitely a really great way to lighten your load. And yeah, so I'm just going to show you the picture of the squirrel taro grass and invite you to bask. Just take in that energy of being playful and fun and open and being flexible and light. Yeah, we're so hard on ourselves. Oops. Okay. Let's breathe that in. Let's take a breath with that. And so for our yoga today, to be playful and bring that in, let's do what? Let's do some sunflower pose. Let's do that for sure. So we're going to stand to do that. And of course, these moves are all invitation. If your body is telling you to do a different pose, that trumps whatever I say. I'm the guide to make suggestions, but your body, what it says, is the boss. Because that's your instincts. So, you're going to stand with feet hip-width apart. No, sorry, more than hip-width apart, like straddle. That feels good. And you're going to sink down until your knees are over your ankles, so you might have to adjust a little bit. Feet flat on the ground, so I'm on brick, so you can be on grass. If you've got a yoga mat handy, fine. But just make sure you do it in bare feet and not socks. You're slipping all over the place. And so we'll just take it, inhale and exhale and sink a little deeper. And you can keep your hands on your hips or on your thighs. For now, just hold it here and just really feel your body grounded. Feel the four corners of your feet, the outside and inside edges of your feet, bottom of your toes. Okay, that your knees feel good. And you can stay here if you don't want to flow and into sunflower. And you can step out of it, shake it out, and then go back into it. You could just do this if you wanted to. Okay, I just feel called that would be really helpful for someone watching. Okay, so then with sunflower, we're going to bring our arms out to the side, palms facing up. We're going to inhale and circle up, above, keeping the shoulders down. And as you exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips. So you want to make sure you're not bending from your waist, that you're actually hinging from your hips. Okay? So exhaling and then inhaling, coming up. And exhale. And with this flow, just feeling how light your body could be and playing with your body moving. Maybe in ways you haven't moved it in a while. And opening up to what else is possible and available. And on this inhale, we're going to exhale and just sink into sunflower. And hold it here. Just bring that in. And then shake that out. And since we are embracing the energies of the trees today, I feel like let's honor them and be a tree. So you're going to find your version of tree pose with your body. So the main thing with tree pose is that it's a balance pose and a hip opener as well. So, contrary to maybe popular belief or understanding, that the idea is to get the bottom of your, to get your foot all the way up to the inner of your thigh and hold it there. That's not it, okay? If you can do that, great, but it's not the main focus, because if you're not holding the your knee properly, your ribs, and it's really about keeping this hip and knee open. So if you're just at the ankle at the bottom, that's fine. That's the whole purpose. And the flexibility comes as you do it more. So no judgment on yourself. So to get into it, I'm going to start on my right side. Actually, I'm going to start sort of in a mountain pose first. So feet are hip width apart. I'm feeling your toes, all your toes and the outsides of your feet on the ground. Your knees are soft, pelvis under, roll the shoulders down and back, and chin and head are over the shoulders. And then you can gaze forward or, 6 feet on the ground in front of you. And then you can bring your arms up, shoulder height. And then shift your weight all the way to the right side so that you feel nice and strong there, keeping the knees soft. And then you can take your left foot and toe tap it out to the side. It'll just naturally go out to the perfect extension for yourself. And then you're going to turn the heel under to come in so that you drag the foot towards your ankle and you can keep it open here. So listening to your body and following what is good for you, keeping the hip open and keeping that strength and the balance on the right side, you can bring the foot up to rest on your inner calf if that feels good. And then if you can, I'm not able to these days because my knee is mostly better, but this is where my body is at and I'm good with that. And if you want, you can bring your arms up, keeping your shoulders down, palms facing in, and just taking 3 breaths here. And if you wobble, it's okay, because you can see the trees behind me are keeping their trunks strong, but their branches are moving. So the other part of this is the core balance, so that your belly is to your spine, your chest is nice and tall, and out through the top of your crown, that whole line on this side. So you don't even have to put your hands up if you don't want to. If you're taking care of shoulders, you can just keep them on their hips. And then release, shake that out, and then we'll do the other side. So again, come into mountain, feeling nice and centered through the bottom of the feet, all the way up through your core, shifting your weight to the left, and you can bring your arms up, and then you're going to toe tap your right big toe out, turn the heel in, and drag it towards your ankle. You can rest here, or again, sliding up, just making sure that you're either above or below your knee, or even it could be just, right above your ankle, but just making sure you're not, pressing on your ankle if you're bringing it off the ground. And then again, your arms, keeping the shoulders down, you can bring them up, nice and strong through the torso, belly to spine. Breathing in and out. And when you're ready, releasing the arms, release the leg, shake that out. Awesome. Okay, that feels really good for lightening up and embracing, releasing tension for our yoga today. And so self-massage, let's see. I feel like, yeah, let's do some clearing of the limbs with our cupping. That's always good. So we'll start. So make sure you're ideally somewhere where you can really, not like you're going to beat yourself up, but you want to be able to have enough room around where you are to be able to move your arm freely and not hit something. And you're going to want to be able to stand ideally, but you could do it sitting, and I'm feeling called to do it standing. And so here we'll go. We'll start with the left side. So we're going to cup our hand and go into the inside of the elbow. Okay, so inhale, exhale. So on the exhale, we're releasing any stuck energies, lymph, anything, all that tension, and inhaling lightness, okay? Here we go, other side. So we're doing 7. You can do a minimum of 3, but we're going to do 7 today. Okay, next is under the arm. So it's just a nice, gentle pat. You get kind of a rhythm when you get going. I lost count, so maybe you're already on the other side. Keep breathing. Okay, so next after the armpits is behind the knees. So I'm just going to hinge a bit forward, belly to spine, hinging from my hips, bending forward. Okay, and you can bend your knees and you can kind of feel like the top of your thighs might touch your belly, and that's okay. And you can even do it deliberately if you want to, and come down into chair pose a little bit more, forward fold. Okay, and then we're going to do the back of our knees, and we can do them both at the same time from here. So inhaling, exhale. Okay, and just resting your hands on your thighs, and just take a breath here before we come up. Maybe 2. Okay, 1 more. And then slowly coming up, bringing up your vertebrae by vertebrae and your head last. Whew. All right. Okay, so I feel one more thing for the head. I just feel like it's always good to release tension in the scalp. So let's do shampooing. So it's the pads of the finger. You're going to go underneath the hair, but just to show you, we're going to do a circle, and then you're going to squeeze the hair and do lift and tuck. Oh my gosh, tug. Oh, I couldn't think of the word. Lift and tug, okay? So start from the sides, rotating, lift and tug, and then you just move up the sides of the heads to the middle of the head, and then front to back. If any of you are sporting a shave style, just do the, or very short and don't have, long hair or hair enough to tug, just do the shampooing. It's all good. And then corner to corner, so right corner, left corner, coming up to the middle. And then the opposite side, bottom right, top left, coming into the middle. And then just smoothing. Give yourself a hug. Hug your face. Hug yourself. And a virtual hug to all of you. Oh, thank you for joining me today for our time to reflect and connect. I love it so much. It always is so meaningful to me. I hope it's as meaningful to you. And thank you for sharing when it goes up onto IGTV. Make sure that you tag me in your stories, and that way I can thank you for sharing. And what else? Enjoy this beautiful day wherever you are, and I can't wait to hear. So either in the comments on the replay or send me a DM and let me know, how did you play with releasing tension and embracing lightness? What did you do that was more playful? How did this assist you? I would love to know. So please do share that with me. And we'll see you next Sunday, 10:30 Eastern, for Soulful Sunday Live here on Instagram. For other ways you can play with me, or if you have friends you want to introduce me to that don't play on Instagram, I'm on Facebook and YouTube, and there's links in the bio. So, see you soon. Love you so much. Namaste.